Let's learn from Poopysoft's failures, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Star Wars Outlaws. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! Yeah, not allowed to criticize, big man! Alright, I'm ready. This guy looks smart.
Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
Today, I will address game developers and publishers all around the world. First, I would like to share advice that has served me well working in professional environments. A wise man learns from his mistakes, and an even wiser man learns from other people's mistakes.
So true.
Today, I will explain the failures of Ubisoft, explain what other developers and publishers can learn to avoid becoming the same kind of failure, and lastly, my personal apology. This video will offer critical comment on the state of Ubisoft and its developers. Please wait until the end of the video so I can share my formal apology.
Apology for what? I'm so confused.
It has been revealed recently that for game development, Ubisoft hired diversity activists as consultants with a focus on challenging moral standards.
Of course.
Ubisoft is offering mentorship programs while excluding individuals based on their gender.
Yeah, we saw that. That was the we only hire women, people who identify as women or what is it called? Non-binary. I was gonna say gender fluid and I couldn't remember. Yep.
I ask you, what is fun about challenging moral standards? How does that translate into a good gaming experience? Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft has launched as an abject, catastrophic failure.
Yep.
Even the most basic mechanical aspects of the product are incompetently implemented.
I saw that. If you want to see that, watch Asmon's stream. He was fucking... Watching him play that game was mind-numbing. I think I was gonna fall asleep after like 2 minutes.
One might wonder how a company
bad.
with millions of dollars of funding can produce something lacking in even the most basic level of competence. We are no longer living in an era where multi-million-dollar companies hold all the power. The everyday gamer now has the power to rise up against tyrants and incompetence. Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows will fail on launch. The entirety of the gaming industry has indicated that there is absolutely no confidence in Ubisoft to produce a competent product.
And the shareholders, I don't know when this happened, I think it was 4 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Wait, was it 3 or 4? I don't know, I don't remember. But what is it called? The investors called to action their stocks, basically. And they said, hey, why is your stock doing so bad? They have no trust in them whatsoever.
So let's see what we can learn from Ubisoft's failures. Instead of hiring game developers, artists, and writers who have natural talent and skill that has been refined and cultivated from years of hard work, companies are funding and hiring based on skin color and sexual identity and politics. These are the people who made Star Wars Outlaws. These are the people who made Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And they don't make a good game. If they made a good game, I genuinely think that people wouldn't care as much. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I know it. I genuinely don't think people would care. It's just there's like an indicator. It's like, oh geez, these people made a game. Oh, it must be bad because it's happened so many times.
Companies do not make video games. Money does not make video games. People make video games. Awful people make awful video games. And awful video games will not earn your company meaningful revenue. Ubisoft has totally missed the mark by claiming they are delivering an accurate representation of Japanese history and culture. They spit in the face of Japan as a country and as people.
And that's what we saw in the video we just watched. Those two criticized the historical accuracies and it was hilarious.
Ubisoft is using Japan as fodder for diversity checklists to pander to an audience they have imagined because they have a narrow perspective of the world and are blinded by their own self-importance and ego. These people are not capable of accepting that they can be wrong about anything. They will be unable to improve as artists and developers. So,
well, they appear as artists, it's just they parade themselves around as activists as well. They want to eat their cake, have their cake, and eat it too. Yeah. It's just sad, man. I hope that, like, I know this is really mean and, like, I guess, like, people are gonna lose their jobs over this, and some of them have nothing to do with this, but I kind of hope that Poopy Soft goes under. Yeah. I know. People are gonna lose their jobs, they're gonna, go bankrupt. Innocent people who have done nothing but just put the work in that the executives wanted. It's sad.
Lesson 1. Hire based on talent and skill. Hire well-adjusted adults who have some perspective of the world. If someone mentions their pronouns or sexual identity as one of their defining traits, then this person very likely has no other defining traits and has very little of value to offer in a creative or professional environment.
If that's their only thing, then yes. If you have, like, a list of achievements as a fucking artist, like, what the fuck are you doing? Why is that your defining, like, categorical reason for being hired? I don't think that's the thing for any job, man. Be good at your fucking job and no one's gonna care.
Lesson 2. Using diversity consultants will not make a product better. The gaming audience will identify the red flags of superficial diversity consultants, and they will understand when a product is not created in good faith.
Well, it's essentially like what I said today, that even the most average, Joe Schmo can identify whether or not someone is being genuine or not. You can tell, like, even the dumbest people can tell when you're being genuine. There's like a little meter that goes off in their head and they're like, I don't really like this, I'm not gonna buy it or whatever.
Using diversity consultants will cause a product to fail, as we are seeing time and time again across a range of entertainment mediums.
And it's a waste of money too.
Lesson 3. Do not let your development team members perform PR duties and damage control. These people will cause more harm than good. Rely on experienced, trained PR managers to perform these duties. We have largely failed this generation of game developers.
True.
It will take hard work, and we will have to work together. But we can make the next generation of developers into the strongest and most creatively capable we have ever seen. We can foster the next generation of developers by sharing our knowledge and experience, by explaining the values of design philosophy that matter, and by explaining the failures of this generation.
And also putting in money into these stupid consulting companies instead of, like, making the fucking trailer look good and not having bamboo turn into wood. Or wood into bamboo in the middle of a fucking shot, man.
Lastly, my apology. To the people of the development teams of games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and other similar games that have launched recently, to the diversity consultants who advise major companies on how to write their stories and focus on identity politics, I worked closely with some of the leaders of the generation that came before me. It was the generation who came before me who was responsible for ensuring that all of you would be able to grow up into well-adjusted, intelligent, and well-informed adults with at least some perspective of the real world. It was our responsibility to ensure that you grew up into decent human beings. And I see now that we have failed you on every single level possible.
That's what he's apologizing for? Damn! See, he's claiming more fucking responsibility than the fucking companies, man. Man, that's cutting deep, bro. Man.
And for that,
That's deep.
I apologize. I won't be able to help you, as it is too late. But I will work hard every day to ensure that the next generation of young people does not have to grow up into failures like you.
Damn. That's deep, bro. That was strong, Giga Chat energy chat.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I just wanted to check in with you and have a little talk and thank everyone who has recently subscribed. So for everyone who has recently joined the channel, thank you very much for coming to hang out. And I really appreciate that you were here. Thank you for your support. Today, I just wanted to talk about what's up with my channel and what I'm doing online. I know a lot of people have seen some of my speeches that I've done recently at industry level for the game industry. And I just want to let you know, I don't like doing those. That is not something that I really want to do. I just want to make video games. I want to make cool things for people. I want to make fun games. And in between that, while I'm making my games, maybe I'll make some fun and interesting videos here and there for people to have a laugh at.
Okay.
I don't like doing industry speeches because we are addressing topics that can be quite difficult to address, and it will earn me enemies. And I understand that, and I've accepted that. So why I don't want to do these speeches is that, unfortunately, there is negativity involved in what you have to say, but when someone does something wrong, you have to point it out. And if you don't, things can snowball out of control into catastrophic levels.
Okay.
I don't want to do these speeches.
He's reading a
and
script,
I don't need to do these speeches. I don't care about the clicks or the views. But I'm doing this not because I want to or need to, but because I choose to. And I choose to stick up for gamers and developers who feel like they are not being heard, that their voices are being ignored by the games industry. And so that is why I'm doing these industry speeches. I am a solo developer. I run my own studio. I make my own games. I make exactly what I want, for better or worse, even if I don't have a huge audience, even if my games don't have mass appeal. That's all right by me. I like...
You can still make great games, even if you're a small studio. Even the biggest studios in the world started out small, man. Sad,
to explore sometimes weird ideas. Sometimes they don't always land, but I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm making. All my passion and heart goes into what I make, and I'm able to make games that people can enjoy. So for everyone that has been enjoying my games and has appreciated what I've done, I am so grateful to you guys for enjoying my games and supporting me. In the past, I've worked in the photography and the photo marketing industry, and I saw the industry and its giants rise, and I saw them fall.
Okay.
I saw all of the elements that went into a catastrophic failure for those industries. And at that point, I was working with industry veterans, and I was new. They threw me into the deep end to see if I would sink or swim. They wanted to see what I would do in a professional environment, and I learned from the very best. And unfortunately, I lacked the experience, the wisdom, and the confidence to do anything about the things that I saw going wrong. So what happened in the photography and photo marketing industry is people exactly like Kathleen Kennedy came into...
Kathleen Kennedy. For those that don't know, Kathleen Kennedy is the Disney director or whatever CEO that changed everything about Star Wars and made it all about women. Just for the record. Not CEO, whatever. Is she director? I can't remember. She's like a producer. I don't remember. Yeah, put a chicken in and make a lemon gay.
To
creative
CEO
director.
roles and upper management, and they destroyed everything. And I couldn't understand it at the time. I didn't have enough experience and insight. And I understand now that this movement that we have been seeing over the past few years that they call feminism is not feminism. The only thing that I can describe it is neo-feminism. It is not about equality. It is about superiority. And I will get back to that topic later on in the video.
That is strong. It's true. They don't see men and women as equals. They see men beneath women. Yeah, I think that's true. Real feminism is about equality. Real feminism is about, going to Iran and, freeing women that are like in jail for like dancing or something. That's feminism. This is not feminism, what we are having in the West, for sure.
But basically, these people enter spaces where they don't really have actual interest in. They just want control and a sense of power. And they want people who echo the same ideological and political views and agendas as them, people that will echo them. They'll tear down anyone who doesn't agree with them and put in those people, even if those people are ill-suited to the roles in which they are working. Mm-hmm. And people like Kathleen Kennedy destroyed the photography and the photo marketing industry. I watched companies that seemed like they were too big to fail be utterly destroyed by people who came in not because they cared about the work, not because they cared about the industry. They didn't care about the consumer or the end product. They only cared about their own ego and taking control and assuming power. And that...
What's that famous... what's that Bible quote? Like, evil is something that can only copy what is... like, it can't produce anything original. It just tries to copy and, like, make it into something else. Evil cannot create, only destroy. There we go. That was it. Oh, was it Tolkien? Sorry, I thought it was the Bible, but Tolkien also was really into Christianity, so... I mean, I wasn't too far off, sorry.
Will destroy
Tolkien is the Bible, yeah, you're
and
right.
That is why I'm speaking up for the games industry, because what I watched firsthand, right in front of me, happen to photography companies and in the photo marketing industry that is happening right now in the games industry. And I can clearly see, with my own eyes, I can very clearly see it. We're going to have a disaster on our hands in the game industry. But I know that there is still time. If we all work together, we absolutely can put the ship back on the right direction.
It'll take a lot of work. I think you'll only see something after like 10, 15 years maybe. Evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made. I mean, really, for real though, just stop buying bad games? Well, yeah, we have that now, but there's a lot of bad games that still get bought by, still get a lot of money from dipshits, and they take our government money and start making shitty games, and then they get mad when nobody plays their shitty game. Oh, just don't play it! Just don't play the game! If you don't like it, just don't play the game! It's like, yeah. Give it time? I mean, I think that in the next 10 years that maybe we could turn this around. Maybe.
So, with my games, they all have been quite small over the past years, and I appreciate everyone who's been understanding and been supporting and cheering on my games. Lately, I've just been planning and working on very small games, stuff that I can make in a short amount of time and that I can ship so I can keep paying my bills. Generally, I try to aim probably more than what I'm currently capable of, but that is part of my personal endeavor to continue pushing myself, to keep improving, to keep getting better, and to make better games than I did previously. I just want to keep improving. But lately, my games have been quite small. I don't talk a lot about my personal life because that's not really why we're here. So the reason why a lot of my games, or all my games, are quite small right now is over the past year, I've been volunteering at a local cancer hospital.
Oh.
And
what a good soul,
I've been playing music. I've been going to the hospital with a fiddle, and I sit in sort of the public area, and I just play, traditional music, just something that's easy to listen to, something calming, something to cheer
that is so sweet.
People up.
With a fiddle.
And the staff come to me throughout the day, and they're so grateful that at least I was able to brighten up their day even a little bit. People that are receiving treatments will often come down from their rooms to listen, and they'll thank me for, you know, sharing some music with them. And
Aww.
Friends and family who are visiting and supporting their loved ones going through treatments have thanked me for that. And I don't receive any money for that. I don't brag about it. And I do it because I understand what it feels like to stare down the barrel of a gun that's aimed at someone else, and you feel utterly powerless and helpless to help someone. One thing that I find as I grow older and older is I feel increasingly frustrated understanding how little I can actually do for other people.
That's what hurts a lot when you're growing up. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I'm not even talking about like cancer, just like on a global scale, you are nothing. You can't help everybody, man. It's sad.
I wish that there was more that I could do to help people. I wish there was something I could do to make people's lives better. Mm-hmm. And the older you get, the more you realize how little you are capable of when it comes to that. And so this is something that I can do. Yes, it takes a certain amount of time away from my work schedule. It takes a certain amount of my focus away. I should be entirely focused on my work, on my career, on advancing my studio and making more games. But I've chosen this. I have chosen to spend time at the cancer hospital because even if it's just a little bit,
sorry, I'll think a little bit. Don't worry.
Help someone see that there is hope, that there can be light at the end of the tunnel. And we all know how these things go. Cancer treatments don't always work out. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And it's the fear of not knowing. It's wondering if you're ever going to get to see your loved ones again. It's knowing that they probably only have until the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And it breaks my heart that people that live on Twitter that don't spend any time in the real world that are now
based
infesting all these different industries like movies and TV and video games. They don't have this kind of understanding of the world. They don't have compassion for other people.
Yeah, because they don't actually spend time with them. They can't empathize with them, and they start dehumanizing all these people behind, like, you know, profile pictures and shit. It's just sad, bro.
All they care about is themselves and forcing their political views on people. And then they cry and get angry when there's any sort of criticism. Mm-hmm. And there's no room for them to gain any understanding, any improvement as a person, to become a better human being. They've closed themselves off to that, and it just breaks my heart.
They're usually middle class and bored. Incorrect. Incorrect. Being chronically online has nothing to do with class. I've seen people who are rich as fuck that just do this because they're stupid. It does not matter. You can be poor, you can be middle, you can be lower middle class. It's just, they're usually children, but there are a lot of adults who do this too. I don't think it matters. It genuinely does not matter.
Because one day they will be in a position in their lives where they'll need that experience and those skills to be able to handle what's coming their way, and they won't have that.
I don't know how it is for you guys, but I feel like when you go out into the real world, you get to like introspect just a little bit more. These people need to go fucking outside. The whole touch grass thing is like it's not a meme. Genuinely. Why the fuck did they take him off the volunteering? Probably because they doxed him and like found out where he like goes to. That's why I kind of get mind blown when people get really upset online, for example, and they're mad and they say something, and then they keep going like 10 minutes later. It's like, you have like an actual mental problem. Your brain is not designed to have constant like high adrenaline anger like flashing through it. It's not designed to work like that way. Because anger and like stress is supposed to like go away. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a natural response. So like when I get an email, for example, saying, "Oh, Alana, you should fucking kill yourself. You're a fucking piece of shit." And then they send me another email or another comment like 10 minutes later. I'm like, bro, you need to get like actually like, you need to go take your fucking medication. You have a problem. Like, I understand the first time, maybe you had like a visceral response. I get it. Like, okay, like everybody makes mistakes. If you do that multiple times and God forbid you become obsessed with someone that doesn't affect your daily life in any capacity whatsoever, you need to be institutionalized, or if at the very least someone needs to call a doctor and like get you some medication or get you some help.
And so I just want to share with you my personal frustration in that I've lost my opportunity to volunteer at the cancer hospital. And the reason why I've lost that opportunity is because people from that woke community, the neo-feminists, who do not care about anything but taking control at all costs. They want control, they want power, they want to tear down men. They entered...
That is so fucking disgusting and petty. I hope this guy's not lying. I just don't think he is. If you bully someone out of a volunteer job, not job, let's just say it's just volunteering, right? For playing an instrument at a cancer hospital that he did for fun. He doesn't even earn money off of it. It's for free. It's like, that's actually foul. You're like animals are nicer to each other at that point.
The arrangement at the hospital, they wanted to have a tight control over everything. And anyone who did not bend the knee, they bullied and pushed out. And so I had been volunteering at the cancer hospital for about a year. And then these woke neo-feminists came in and assumed control and exerted their power in a way that made the environment unpleasant and unmanageable. And so I was pushed out of that environment because I would not bend the knee to these neo-feminists who the internet would describe as woke. But it's more than just woke. It's neo-feminism, and it's not about them fighting for equality. It's them fighting for superiority and control. They don't care about the damage that they cause to the world around them. And I am upset, not for myself, but for the people that I was able to help even a little bit, to bring a little bit of brightness to their day. I no longer can do that in that environment.
I kind of wish you could provide proof, but again, oh, what? Oh my god, my dog barked in his sleep and now he's barking for real. Oh my god. He hates a man! Buddy. Oh my god, you're such a baby. He's sleeping right behind me and starts barking in his sleep. Yeah, if he gave any proof he's docking himself... Someone pointed out and said he's using a lot of buzzwords, but it's like... I mean, they are neo-feminists, because, like, real feminism doesn't function like this.
The other day, I had a disturbing conversation with a lady whom I previously had a lot of respect for. And I was explaining my views that all people are equal. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter what you call yourself with your pronouns. Everyone is equal. Everyone should have an equal opportunity in the workplace. And she laughed in my face, and she said, well, you're wrong. And I was shocked. I thought she was joking, so I froze.
What?
And I said, excuse me? I said, everyone is equal. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If you're the right person for the job, you should have that job. And she laughed and said, you're wrong. And she said her reasoning is, for too long, men have been in control, and we need to fix it.
Man, am I really weird? Like, I've never thought this ever. I wish I had more emotional control over my, like, thinking as a woman, because, like, I am biologically designed to be more emotional. I've gotten jealous of men that can keep it together more than I can. I've never thought this, though. Jesus, dude. A lot of one of the boys. No, I cry and I piss myself and fucking shit and fucking. I've thrown myself against walls and cried and shit. I don't think most men do that, but like my point is like I do think I am a female in that way, at least emotionally. Like men do not have the same exposure because of like, you know, hormones and like thinking or whatever. But my point is like, bro, what the fuck? Most people don't think like that. I don't know, man. I hope not, man. Let's draft her. So we have to pay for our ancestors' mistakes? Bro, we are living in the year 2024. What mistakes, man? These problems, men versus women, detract us from the fact that, like, we can't even afford groceries anymore, man. I hate this shit so much. We're being fucking blindsided with us versus them, but, like, with men versus women. Instead of, like, right-wing, left-wing in every fucking aspect of politics, it's like, it's this. Yeah, we can't afford housing, there's homeless crisis, there's a drug problem, like, it's like men versus... The problem up here is, like, men versus women. It's like, oh, there's no problem, man. It's disgusting.
And by saying, we need to fix it, that means you are saying that something is broken. I had brought up the topic of how Ubisoft had a mentorship program that explicitly excluded males. And I said, how is it fair that young men who want to have opportunities to work in this space, that is being taken away from them? How is it fair that there are now organizations that are funding and companies that are hiring based on gender and excluding males? What am I supposed to tell young men who want to have an equal opportunity to work in those career fields?
You have to tell them to go fuck themselves. This is what you have to tell them. I've heard many stories of men who thought about having kids, just like in passing, like online people. Like, you know, when you talk to them, you're just like, you know, what if you had kids? Would you rather have a boy or a girl? And they're like, I don't want to have a boy because I don't know how I'm going to raise someone in this environment. Because I don't know what's gonna happen in like 10 to 15 years. Are they gonna like, you know, just like fucking tell them that they're a piece of shit all their life, just like they did to me? And they're gonna have to learn the hard way? Like, what? Like, this is just anecdotally speaking, obviously, but I'm just, you know, like, it's concerning. Like, at least I'll tell a daughter that she's like, you know, beautiful and like the world's not gonna constantly put them down. It's sad.
Am I supposed to tell young men that they are inferior to someone else because of the way they were born? Because of their gender,
That's what homeschooling's for, duh. Yeah, and then what after school? You throw them into the real world and then they still get shit on? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a band-aid. That's not a solution.
They deserve less opportunities and they are an inferior person. Because that is what this lady was saying. And eventually she just nodded and shrugged and walked away. And that is what we're dealing with here. These neo-feminists that are online, they are not people who care about equality. They don't care about the damage they're causing. They only care to serve themselves. They want control. They want superiority. They do not want equality. And I've been so disturbed from that conversation because I was utterly disgusted that this was someone that I knew in real life. And that we had this discussion and I said, everyone is equal, and she said, no, you're wrong. And this is the mentality that we are harboring and growing on Twitter. And we cannot allow that evil to spread any further because that is what it is.
Yeah, evil is about division. Even though we're all human, it's just like, it's division. Delete Twitter? I don't think deleting Twitter would solve all of it. Again, it would... I think it would help, but I think there's just going to be another, like, what is it called? Like another root to the problem. It's in the society. Yeah, like it would just migrate somewhere else, like a fucking root or a plant with a weed. It'll come out somewhere else and pop up.
To claim that someone else is inferior because of their gender, because of the way they were born, is not acceptable. That is evil. Mm-hmm. And we can no longer abide by that. We can't overcorrect, and we can't fight that by saying, oh, women are wrong, women are worse. No. Everyone is equal. There is no argument about that. And I know that by speaking out like this, by creating these industry speeches, I know what the consequences of my actions are. Before I made these speeches, I had to think very carefully. Mm-hmm. Because as a public speaker, as a presenter, I understand the deeper implications of what you say, how you say it, where you say it, and when you say it. And I know that I am receiving personal attacks now. My works that I've created, my games are being attacked. And I know that in the future, I will be review bombed. Anything that I publish now will be negatively review bombed, and I will be criticized. And I have accepted that.
Someone once told me that the brightest lights attract the most bugs. It's true. I just hope that there's a community out there that will, like, counteract his bullshit. Just like that Polish game guy that said, I don't want to include a gay relationship in his game just because they told me I have to, even though I have nothing against gay people. And then they started shitting on him and saying, oh, you're just a homophobic Polish guy. Yeah, Warhorse? I don't remember the name. I just saw it in passing on Twitter like a couple of times. But yeah, I hope people can counteract whatever shitty, shitty thing they do to him.
There's only two things I could have done. I could have kept my mouth shut and done nothing, or I could have spoken up for the developers who are caught in this very unfortunate development in the industry, who do really believe in what they're working on. They really care. They want to make games using their passion and their skills and their art, and they're forced into these really awful situations. And I want to speak up for gamers so that they understand that they have a voice, that they are being heard, and the industry does need to hear this. And I have accepted the consequences of my action, that there will be negative repercussions for me, and I've accepted that. And that's just how things have to be in order to get the ship back on track. I don't want to keep making these industry speeches, and I don't like making them. So I will only speak when it is absolutely necessary. I will do what the industry needs of me, and it's not because I want to, but it's because it's what is needed of me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enough. Take care of yourselves. I want my next videos to just be fun. Just something fun. I will keep creating the character analysis videos. I think those are a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying hearing from all of you. Take care, everyone. I'm going to enjoy a coffee. Be well.
Bye! Aww. Man, that sucks so much. If that's true, man. That's obscene. I've never encountered anything like that personally, but holy smokes. Guys, check them out, show them some support. Sungran Studios. The right choice is rarely ever the easy one. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Good luck. I have. It's wild to see IRL. I don't touch grass often enough. And because of my privilege as a woman, I've never seen that kind of shit. I have not seen that. But I also kind of don't. I also don't know. Maybe it's not true. I don't know. You can't prove it. It's doxy, but Alana is the brightest light. She will attract all the bugs. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm really bright. Ding dong. Wake up.